the biggest thing for me, obviously, like playing with Miracle, I just remember moments of us like winning tournaments, and like I remember like us just constantly being in like like it was just chill, like we were just always in a good mood because we were winning so much, and like everyone was like very nice on that team. Ammar just like kept saying like, I don't know how to win this game, I don't know how to win this. He just kept saying. I still make fun of him for it. I think for us it was like the public pressure was more than anything gave us a little bit much. Like there was some overreacting going on. They were really using it to their benefit, which I think was very interesting. Like they just manifested it and like channeled it into them becoming more of a team, like 5 players together, binding towards like the evil, like working together. For Dota, like I think it was amazing. Like it was a great storyline. Especially Anna, I think, was like compared to most other players where like his performance did not drop at all at TI.
The day has come. Cr1t, you are a TI winner!
Hey everyone, I'm here with another episode. Got another pretty Porgies guest, just like all the others. Mr. Recent TI winner, Cr1t, my brother. How are you doing? What's going on?
Doing good, doing good. Coming off of a little bit of a break, so feeling ready for the next set of tournaments.
Yeah, sounds good. So where have you been, and how long was your break?
Well, I went on vacation after Singapore for like a week and a half, and pretty much didn't play much Dota. So now I just have like a few days to get back into it, and then we start our bootcamp with everyone tomorrow, and then then straight back into it.
Yeah. Have you been watching any of the PGL stuff that's going on, or was it like a full break?
No, I was keeping track. I watched like I wouldn't say I watched all of it, but I have a good idea about like what's going on and like what teams are doing what and stuff like that. But I didn't watch all of the games throughout. Like just kind of clips here and there.
I guess also like Dota doesn't, or in my opinion, Dota doesn't change all that much. Like there wasn't like a big patch, so I feel like you probably didn't miss out on that much.
No, I don't feel like it's nothing really crazy. Like obviously it's a bit different because the teams that are doing well there are like very different than the teams. Like when we played Blast, it was us and Tundra in the finals, and I feel like the teams that are doing well in PGL now are like the way they function as teams and their styles are like complete opposite. So it's like it's a little bit weird. And obviously you have to kind of respect that and take a look and see like what do we have to worry about when we get back into it. Then like we'll just have to go through that when we have a bit of time to practice. But yeah, it's not like it's anything like the heroes are the same and like it's just some teams have different preferences, but there's been no patch, so it's not really not much different.
How did it actually start for you? Like what would we need to know about you to like know you better as a person, but also like how you got started in like esports as a whole?
Yeah, I mean it's a bit of a long story. There's some years of like that I think are maybe not that important, but like I guess like from like when I've kind of started was like right before high school, which was like 2010, 11, like right basically when Dota 2 just came out, like right at that around that time, I was kind of like I was playing with Ace and some other like we were pretty good, like we were good enough to be like a tier 3 or 4 team, but I had to like kind of make a decision if I wanted to go high school or just play Dota, and at that time it was not really like a hard decision at all because
Yeah.
so I just so I went to high school at like I think 2012 was my first year. And then the next 3 years are kind of like a blur for me in terms of Dota from like 2012 until I started on OG because I was just going high school. I was going out with my friends. Like I was kind of like a closeted gamer. Like nobody really knew that I was like pretty good at a video game.
Yeah.
Uh, like I remember going like there was one night before we're like going out because we were going out every weekend because I was in high school and Denmark's cooked. And then there's one of the nights where like we were supposed to be at my place for like pre-drinks, and I had like a tournament game for some like 500 euro online
Yeah,
tournament. I
some
don't
cup.
remember. Yeah, some random stuff, right? And then one of my friends came like an hour and a half early, and back then I was playing on a laptop in the living room. Like I was just playing on a laptop. And then he just walks in. I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I just gotta finish this game, And he's just there, like it was just funny because like nobody really knew that I was like a gamer, So yeah, I mean, those 3 years kind of like on
Mhm.
and off random teams, like it says as well, like some random we has Asian and medium, like
Unicorn and
yeah,
something, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so we went to like a few dream hacks, which was pretty fun. Like we went to
Mhm.
like back then it was like you brought your own PC and stuff to the middle of nowhere in Sweden. It was pretty fun. So we did that a few times. We had a pretty good result too. Like my first LAN was, I think it was like 2011 in
Liquid.
December or something.
Let me see
Yeah,
if Wikipedia has that one on the
I
bottom of the
think
barrel.
it will have it. I think it's
Oh,
like
why? Okay, they don't. 2012 is where it starts for you.
maybe it is 2012. I don't know. It was DreamHack Winter 2012. That
This
one.
one.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
has
that's the
Asian
one.
versus Fnatic.
Yeah. So you see, we got 5th to 8, which is pretty good. Like that was
Who
my
did
first LAN, you know.
Ah,
And
you
if
lost
you
to
look at
the OG Fnatic team.
yeah, we lost to Fly and Notail. And then if you look at the groups, we played against Mouse Sports,
I have heard
and
them.
that was like my first LAN game ever. I don't know if it
Yeah.
even shows. So yeah. So we beat Mouse Sports, which was like it's Karaoke and like all the goats of German Dota.
Holy.
And I
Oh,
remember,
it's so. I
yeah,
can't even see the Dota buff. Okay.
yeah. But like it was like Fada, Kuro, Black. Like you see all the
Holy.
goats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And my team, we also had like 2 Germans, and they were like unknowns, completely unknowns. So that was like my first game, and I was like 16 or 2012. Yeah, I was 16, and I
Oh,
was I
damn.
was
Yeah.
drafting, and I was mid, and that was just yeah, it was that was good times.
So
So we
this
made
is
it
where
through
it,
the group.
yeah, this is where it began.
Yeah, this was the start. Fifth
Oh,
to
this
eight,
is
lost
amazing.
to yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. And then yeah, I went to 2 of those dream hacks,
Mhm.
and it was just like I met like some few people. Like I met Bulba back then. Like there's some just like first experiences with like going to lands and stuff. Obviously, I was very unknown, and then
Yeah.
the rest of the time before OG was just like high school and small tournaments and like nothing really serious. I started playing online, like NEL, the NA in-house league.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of where it started because I played a lot with Yatoro and like Sai, and it was kind of like around that time where NA was kind of popping up, like right before it was before the TI win,
Mhm.
2015. Um, and then yeah, I don't know, just got invited to OG. I'm not really sure how it happened, but like I went out of high school, then a month later I went on OG, and then we won the Frankfurt major like 3 months later. So it was like very fast, you know, like it was
Yeah.
not really like what I was expecting, but obviously it helped because like like I don't know if it's the same in Germany, but in Denmark it's like you finish high school and then a lot of people take like a gap year, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I'll just take 1 year and I'll just try to make it in Dota, see how it goes. And then 3 months in, I was like, okay, I just won like
Nice.
the first major, and like my
Yeah.
family's like, okay, I guess I'll work.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of the start of it.
So you don't really remember like how it happened, like how you got invited to OG? I mean, I'm just gonna pull up the
Uh,
here. This
I
is you
I
and the boys.
I'm pretty sure. I don't. I think it was. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't know how it went behind. I think it was just like Notail and Fly built the team,
Yeah.
and then Notail reached out to me somehow. I think, or I don't even remember who reached out to me, but it was Notail or Fly, probably Notail, and then we kind of just went from there. And like, I didn't really know anyone on the team. We just kind of mashed it together and started playing,
Mhm.
And yeah, it was fun. Like, it's 10 years ago now,
Yeah.
and I was also very young. I was like 18, 19. So it's hard to remember all. Like I remember like all this, like going to the tournaments and like small things from it, but like the whole inner work, like it's so hard to remember. The game
Yeah, I
changed so
know.
much too, so it's like it's very hard to think back on. But yeah, it just kind of, I think it just No Time Fly made the team, and they wanted to make their own org. Like they kind of wanted
Mhm.
to not be under like some third party org, which was
Right.
like the very norm back then. So they're kind of like trying to start that. I don't Spirit was, or not Spirit, Secret was already a thing at this point, I think, right?
Yep. Yep, they were.
Yeah, that was
Then
the only thing.
because I mean, it is hard to remember because I mean it's like
Yeah.
10 years ago, but like the people you played with, like Notail, Fly, Miracle, Moon. I don't know at what point or if you ever played under Ceb's coaching in OG or if you joined after. I don't remember this. But do you have like any major takeaways of like either comparing yourself today to then? Because in 10 years, I mean, obviously you changed a ton, both like in personality and like play. But also if there was like something that maybe one of them was like ahead with, like in terms of Dota knowledge or gameplay wise.
So I mean, Ceb joined at Manila Major. That was his first tournament with
Mm-hmm.
us. And I actually played with Ceb like in 2012 or something, like way earlier.
Yeah.
When I was like a mix of Danish and French stack. So I was the only one that knew Ceb
Okay.
on the team. And I know he had just been on Alliance, and then we were looking for a coach, and Fly was kind of talking to him. So, and I just vouched for him because I knew like I had good experiences with him,
Mm-hmm.
and I respected him as a player. So he kind of just got in, and then he was very different, I think, from like the way he was as a player, and
Okay.
then when he joined us as a coach, he was very different. Like just like a much more chilled demeanor. Like he will even tell you like way back in the day, he was pretty toxic. Like
Yeah, I've
he
heard.
was. I mean, I wouldn't say he was toxic, but like he was just very competitive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he did good, and then obviously he stuck around and like had good results. And but yeah, I think it's hard to think back. I think like the biggest thing for me, obviously like playing with Miracle and
Bad
like
chess. Yeah.
just yeah. I mean, it was like a yeah. It's hard to think back. Like I just remember moments of us like winning tournaments, and like I remember like us just constantly being in like it was just chill. Like we are just always in a good mood because
Yeah.
we were winning so much, and like everyone was like very nice on that team. Like the only real conflict I think was like between Moon and Notail,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like not even like anything crazy. Um, but yeah, like it was just a good year. Like there's nothing bad about that year. Like everyone was like super enjoyable to work with. Yeah, it was just a good time, really. I don't. It's hard for me to really say too much more than that.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
remember Seb joining and like working with us for Manila, and like
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't remember Shanghai at all, which was like the big, like the one of the big majors that year. I
Yeah.
honestly don't remember at all what happened. Um, but the other two, like Frankfurt, obviously like a big memory for me. Like
Yeah.
first big tournament and first big win, and then Manila major was insane. So yeah, it was very like when I think back on it, it's very happy memories, but like it's so hard to remember the
Yeah.
specifics.
No, I feel you. It's the same if you even like Thompson as well. I asked him about some stuff. Unless I could show him a clip, he had like no recollection unless it was like very specific. So I think it's just
Yeah,
normal. It's just so old. Then because you're saying it was like very chill in the team and obviously very happy times. I mean, you guys owned for the majority of the year. So then you guys went to TI, and obviously that didn't work as well, especially when you consider like how the season went. Like, so you guys got 9 to 12. I mean, I'll just play it in the background. We don't need to like have the sound or whatever. I mean, this is
hmm
like you guys played against TNC in, I mean, completely underdogs. I think you guys also lost in the upper bracket, maybe to MVP Phoenix or someone else. I don't fully remember. But
yeah, so
how do you, how much do you remember like this TI and how it went down, and then also like your transition because you left OG after this to join EG. Is that correct? After this TI?
mm, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't actually remember too much from like the series itself. Like I remember like watching it back now, even like watching it, I don't really remember the games that well. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of just like
A blur.
I was like, oh yeah, I guess like we're through here, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really like after like my recollection of that TI is not like, oh that guy lost us the tournament, or like this guy was just joking. It's not like that. It's just like we
Hmm.
kind of just lost.
Yeah.
Um, and I think MVP Phoenix like kind of just cooked us, and then the
They did
TNT
that.
was like that was like the aftermath, like we were favorites and we lost in the upper bracket and we dropped down, and then we're already like kind of
GG.
like yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that like I feel like we were fine in the moment, but once you lose the first game and you're in the elimination game, and it was my first TI and Miracle's first TI, it's like it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it was probably just something like that. Like I can't say like me and Miracle choked, but like at the end of the day, it's like something like that. Some sort of pressure slash nerve slash
Yeah.
expect like all of that stuff just collapsing on us in some way. So then we kind of just flopped out.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't say that was why I left. Really,
Okay.
like it was not really because of that at all. Like there was no real reason for me to leave the team. It was not like that I left OG because I didn't want to play with that team. It was more like the other option I had was like so it was very attractive to me,
Hmm.
and it was just like weighing the two together. Like it was just favorable for me, and it's just like I could have stayed on OG and like I would have been happy. But I respected that EG team a lot and the players, and obviously I was good friends with Yatoro,
Mm-hmm.
and Sai, and yeah, it was just like for me, it was like probably like the ideal team. And then the other aspect of it was being captain and just like trying to take more responsibility, because like obviously the first year with OG was kind of like my breakout year, and then um, like just trying to see if it could go any further than that, and if I could like be in that role of having more responsibility, I think was also pretty attractive to me,
Mm-hmm.
and just being able to take that accountability. So that was like the biggest factors for me leaving. There's no reason for me to leave. Like I would have happily played with everyone that was on that OG team for another year at least. So yeah.
Okay, I mean that's actually pretty good because I don't know if you've ever talked about this. Like, I don't know if people know the reason. Because I mean, you guys looked really good, you looked really good, and then you guys just like went separate ways. But obviously, for you
Yeah.
also, you joined a pretty damn good team. So you can, I mean, you can walk me like through like the early experiences then of EG, because also you're saying, you know, you're still like, it's early days for you still. You're now like becoming the captain. Like, how was like that initial transition of both joining and then even taking like more responsibility?
I'd say it was very good, to be honest, because like it was kind of the same thing as when I joined OG. Like we kind of had like pretty instant success. Like we
Yeah.
went, our first tournament was in China and we won, and then that was kind of the start of the year for us. And
Hmm.
then the whole, like the big tournaments back then were the majors, right? There's
Yeah.
like the Boston and Kiev, and I remember going into Boston, we were pretty heavy favorites, and obviously we lost, but like uh, it was like I don't really remember the games at all. I
Hmm.
I like that's like the type of thing where I would probably have to see the drafts and be like, oh yeah, I remember now, like what happened or what went wrong. Because like
Oh, it was single elim this one. I remember.
yeah, so this one I don't really remember the drafts at all.
You have SD bottom first two.
Yeah, this one looks like we just got outdrafted. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about this one.
And the
And
other
then the second
one,
one,
Darkseer Alk Dazzle, and you play morph into
oh
OD.
yeah, we gave. Oh yeah, I remember afterwards. Like I was unhappy with giving them Naga and then Alk, and
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, it was kind of that was just it, and then it's just over for us. So
Oh
this was
yeah,
like
of
my
course. It's Prime. It's Notail carry. I forgot about
yeah,
this. Notail
yeah,
carry
yeah,
ornament. Right, right.
yeah. So I think this was like my first big like humbling as a captain. I think like this was the
Okay.
first tournament where I felt like okay, that was like pretty rough, and we kind of
Oops.
lost, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was like the first major, and it was fine. You know, we had other tournaments after. Then we went to China. We won a tournament in China.
yeah.
And then we went to Dota Pit. We won a tournament there. Like we won so many tournaments this year.
Yeah, you guys
Um,
pogged for sure.
yeah, we went to Manila Masters. We won that one. So like it was a very good year. It's just like the two majors, we got third, fourth, which was like obviously not a bad result, but it was also not what we were hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Epicenter was also close. Like Liquor was very good. Obviously, that was right before they won TI, but
Yeah.
we got second there. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, I remember always like after this year, like everyone was very unhappy. Like even like on the team, I think people were like pretty unhappy after TI with like how the situation was, and like obviously the fans were like because when you lose TI, like yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like that's just the in rear view, right? But I remember
Especially
like
back
this
then
year,
too, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
it
back
was
then
even more
especially.
maybe. Yeah.
No, it was for sure. But yeah, I was like always very proud of this year because I feel like we're a very good team. Like we won a lot of tournaments, and you know, like we didn't win the big ones, but we still
Mm-hmm.
like had a really good year. You know, so for me it was like a very good experience. I still look back with it like a pretty successful year, even though like when people look back and think back on it, it's like, oh yeah, that was a shit year for EG. But like realistically, I think we were the team that won the most tournaments that year.
Yeah.
But like people just don't remember, you know.
I mean, people have selective memory too. But actually, I think I have it here somewhere. I think. I mean, you guys won like quite a bit of stuff here, like with EG. I mean, first of all, like this is only like tier one land wins, so there's some stuff missing.
Yeah,
Which it
I'd say there's
like there's
yeah, there's
definitely
definitely
like
stuff missing.
some good stuff there too when you were in EG, which also kind of leads me into like a different question. I think so. You've played for 10 years. You've only really been in like three major different teams, like OG, EG. I mean, then it's kind of the same because it was Shopify, and now in like Falcons. what do you like attribute this to? Would you say like you're more loyal than other people? Is it just because you enjoy where you are, so you never really look for a change?
Mm, I mean, I guess in some way, but at the same time, like I left OG after 1 year, after we had a really good year. So
Yeah.
I think it's just that um, I had a lot of faith in the players I work with. Like I was always very lucky to have good players on my teams.
Hmm.
Like it's not like when you play with players like Sumail and Yatoro and Miracle and like Universe Sai, like all these people are like
Yeah, they're good.
top tier players.
Yeah.
And like I never had a feeling where it's like, okay, the grass is greener on this side for sure. Like I want to get out of here. Like we got to change something. I never like had a loss where it's like, oh, I lost faith in my team, or like, oh,
Hmm.
these players definitely don't have what it takes. Like at no point was it like that. So then there's no real reason to change if you believe that you can win TI, and that's kind of the goal for any player. I think if you have like I always believed you go to TI like, and all you can do is like put yourself in a position where you can win. You can't really like go into TI and be like, oh, wait, we're gonna win TI. Like it just doesn't work like that in Dota at
Yeah.
all. You just have to like put yourself in a position where you feel like you have the ability to win, because like TI, especially when the prize pools were crazy, like
Yeah.
it was such a random thing where you just went in and like everyone was kind of like nervous and the quality of games were very low. So like you just had to put yourself in the position where you're like, okay, we have a good team here. We can go and we can
Hmm.
actually win this tournament. And then you just go into it and you do your best and you see what happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it's just there's a bigger contrast because you have it doesn't happen that often. I think when you look at people and you look back at like their teams and their career, that you only see like 3 or 4 different like teams or team logos. Like I looked at it
Yeah.
the other time also. I think it was with Matu. I mean, he didn't even think about it, but he had also only played for like 3 teams in like 10 years. I think if
Yeah.
you look at others, it's not that normal. It's like
No, I think it's also part of it. It's also like Mato is with Liquid, right?
yeah,
And it's like a good org. It's probably like very comfortable. Like you have good support from the org. And for
yeah,
us, like being on EG was very like it was like a home for us. Like I don't know if you've met Phil, right?
yeah. But I don't know him really, but I've
Okay.
like seen
No,
him
but
around.
okay. So Phil was like first year was like manager, and then he became like the CEO of EG, and was kind of like doing everything for EG for a while after Amazon was like out.
Hmm.
So then it became like we're part of like a project of people where like we knew everyone in the org pretty much. Like it was a small org of people that like we all know the people. So then it becomes like much more uh intimate, I guess. Like it
Hmm.
was we're invested in the team. Like we wanted the org to do well. And that kind of carried on through all the way until the end, where like EG got kind of corporate and it became a bit of a mess, and like Phil left, and like it was a bunch of people that we didn't know, and it was very different.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when we left. But up until that point, like it was just like very comfortable. Like we trusted the people that we're working for, and like we're kind of invested in the organization growing and like getting better and all that stuff. So that contributes to us just being with the same logo.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because yeah, I just think it's good. It's probably something that's maybe missing. I mean, it's also different from player to player, right? Like sometimes also it doesn't work. You gotta go yada yada.
yeah,
Um,
of course.
then like so moving on with EG because then that TI we talked about, yeah, it wasn't amazing. You guys got 9th, 12th, but then obviously you guys go into like the next season. I don't know if you want to like talk about all the tournaments or if you feel like there was like it still kept going up a bit down, or do you
Uh,
want to touch on
I
like
mean
the next TI?
this season was pretty messy after
Mm-hmm.
that TI. Like up until like spring, where we when flying S4 joined. That was
Yeah,
kind of like this season was very messy. You can see it's all like fifth, 8, 6,
yeah,
7. Like there's no really good results here. We kind of just it was messy. Like I think like we like changed our roster at December. Like Universe left, and then yeah, it was just very messy. We brought in Misery. It was probably not the best fit. I
yeah.
don't remember exactly. Like I might get some stuff mixed up, but like it was just all over the place, and I think we're not really in a good spot. I think, yeah, I was not draft. I think Fear was drafting. Fear is, I don't remember that much, but
Yeah,
I
you
think
had like
Fear
some
came back.
Fear and like Sumail played offlane for a bit. Wasn't it like this
Yeah,
period?
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think Fear came back and played 5 right after TI or something,
yeah,
and then he, yeah, and then when Universe left, Sumail went 3, Mystery was 5, and Fear was mid.
yeah. You guys had
So
like
yeah,
some
it was,
RNG
yeah,
roster
no, so
roles.
yeah, so it was very messy, you know, like we are just trying to make it work, and then
Yeah.
up until when S4 and Fly joined,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of like this when it turned, and we kind of we became a lot better after that, I think, and just like kind of refound the formula that worked.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole season was just not very good for us. Like it was just trying to get it together, you
Yeah.
know, like it's kind of just not no really good results at all.
I guess it's. I mean, yeah. Once they like I mean, when did they rejoin? It's after this one, no?
It's
Birmingham. It's like in
Yeah, we
between
played
here somewhere.
super. I think they were with us at Super Major, and then we won the summit right before TI.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. This was like, but this was very fast. You know, like we had like not played with them
Yeah.
at
It's like
all.
insta. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we went to summit and we won, and then we went to TI. So it
Mm-hmm.
was it was very fast. Like there's not a lot of time between this change and TI.
Yeah. So then I guess we can start talking about this TI because yeah, you guys looked really damn good. I mean, I remember both TI8 and TI9. I think. I mean, the upper bracket round 1 is the same. I think in both TIs anyway. Like you guys play like Team
Yeah.
Secret, you like kind of own them, and then both times you go here and you guys have like some crazy fucking series against
Yeah.
like OG. So I don't know if you heard what Thompson said, but he basically said that these games were like a lot more. He could tell that these games were a lot more personal for them. Maybe not necessarily for him, but when they played you guys, the atmosphere, it didn't matter which TI it was, whether it was TI 8, 9, or 10, it was always more tense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was very obvious. I think even for viewers as well. I mean,
Yeah.
for us, it was not really the case. I think it
Okay.
was a lot more one-sided. Like obviously, like there's a good reason for it to be one-sided, you know, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like, and there's no like, it's completely understandable. Um, but for us, it was more like we had to deal with like the. I think for us, it was like the public pressure was more than anything. Like we had no like bad feelings towards them
Yeah.
outside of like the fact that we felt like it was a little bit much. Like there was some overreacting going on, but
Hmm.
um, other than that, it's like it was very understandable for us like what was going on, and like they're also just they were really using it to their benefit, which I think was very interesting. Like they just manifested it and like channeled it into them like
Hmm.
becoming more of a team, like 5 players together, like
That's true.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
binding towards like this common like the evil, you know, like working together to
Yeah. We
like
have to bring
to
down.
get yeah, to get the justice. So like for Dota, like I think it was amazing. Like it was a great storyline.
Yeah.
Um and like I've been a heel a few times in my career now, and I think it's just it's part of like it being entertaining. So I think I mean obviously losing sucks, and like I just watched it back just now, like the last game, and like it's
Yeah.
yeah, you
I
know,
mean,
like what could it it's
I
like
have like
what could
some
have
of the
been, but
moments. I mean, this is I got the correct one here, right? It's the yeah.
yeah, that's
I
the
mean, I
one.
don't know. We can just let it play in the background.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
I just watched this too. Like, it's just like, well, I don't know. We have like 20K gold lead. Yeah.
double racks, 20K. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, the
this
game's
one is
completely
already
different.
iconic and funny. They're
I
like
mean, the thing
throwing.
is, like, yeah, but like I remember, like everything after this game was just like, oh, Sumail toss, like gyro, like tossing gyro, all this
Yeah,
stuff. But like at the end of the day, like I also swapped the swap. Like I just wasted my swap. You know, like there's there's like
yeah.
no good reason to do this. And then I kept watching, like, and this like wasn't even that
There's
consequential.
like the
Like there's
shrine
so
fight
many
with
things.
buybacks and shit. I don't
Yeah,
even know
there
if
were
it's that
so many
close.
things.
Like when it comes,
Yeah.
because I was like watching some of these too, because I've been like looking through some of these for the other people too, and I'm like, some of these games that some of these teams won, like OG as well against like LGD and some of the TIs, where when they beat you here, and it's like, how is it even possible? It's like some
Yeah.
double racks, 20K lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like insane.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's what, like I said, like the quality of the gameplay in these TIs, like the big money ones, was very poor.
yeah,
Like I think they really abused the fact that there's zero expectation on them,
yeah,
and they had like the least pressure. Like there's no pressure on OG this tournament, right? So then they were
yeah,
just I wouldn't say they were chilling because I'm sure they're like they're also going through it. You know, like they're
yeah,
just playing for the same as us, but like they really did well around like bringing in like Thompson and Nana was like completely fresh blood, right?
Yeah,
And
that
like
was
they
actually
just
crazy.
yeah, and they're just like no pressure, like they're just fully like they just abused it. Every other team played really bad, and they like did their best to not play bad, and they
Yeah,
ended up being the best, because
yeah,
they just like were not impacted, and they like especially Anna I think was like very like compared to most other players where like his performance did not drop at all at TI, which is
mhm.
like pretty good to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TI kind of
So
breaks
like I mean this game
most
like there's
people.
so many things, like so many throws,
Yeah,
like it was just
yeah,
4
this one.
buybacks and then like Arteezy just bought back for nothing. I don't know what the hell
Like
he's
here?
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's just a mess,
It's
and
good
it's like you
memes.
look back
Yeah.
yeah, you look back at it, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well like what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so then you guys go on, you beat VP, you beat Liquid. I don't remember these games that much. You lose to LGD. I looked at this yesterday. Or at
No,
least
we were yeah.
looked like
No,
you
I mean
couldn't do much.
no, we were pretty good in lower. Like I remember the VP games and
Hmm.
Liquid. I think we were much like we did really well. But at the end of the day, I think LGD was probably the best team this TI. Like they
Hmm.
were just better.
Yeah.
Like we were just worse than them. And I think like us against OG was kind of like a coin toss. Like I think if we'd made it to the final against OG, there's a decent chance we could have won. But at the end of the day, like LGD just kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. But yeah, so that's how it ends up like it does.
Yeah.
But like once we're in the lower bracket against LGD, like this completely fair that we lost. Like we were way worse than them.
Yeah. I mean,
So
so you guys got third place at this TI, which is obviously pretty freaking good. You guys just kind of made this roster like short before. So then going into the next season, because I mean you're gonna be with EG for a bit.
mhm.
How would you like describe the next season? Kind of stable, or do you remember like some ups and downs that were happening?
um, I'm trying to remember this
Yeah.
season. This season is kind of a blur for me. I mean, I remember the ESL one Birmingham, the final. We lost to Secret.
Hmm.
Or like that's the one tournament I remember. That was like right after Mars came out. Um, but other than that, it was pretty like the MDL Macau where we played with Quinn. We played with Quinn in that one. We made the
Oh,
grand
base.
final. That was
Yeah.
pretty memorable as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty much the same as like the season before, where like
Yeah.
not much good was going on for us at all.
Yeah.
Like it was like I guess we have 2 land grand finals, which is honestly pretty good, but like we're not playing to our expectations at all.
Hmm.
And I remember like going through it, like there's a lot of rough moments in this year. Like there's some depression going on. People were not happy, but yeah.
When because when you're saying, I mean, because I mean, it's very normal. People go through like worse phases, and maybe like people get like
Mhm.
more depressed, mauled, or whatever. But you were saying earlier that usually, for the most time in these teams, you were pretty stable in a way. Like you always believed
Mhm.
like you guys can get better and so on. Um, do you feel like you had like a bit of an impact on other people to help them feel better, or was that just more you staying strong, like within yourself?
No, I think it's very like for me it was always much like I wouldn't say I'm one to be like pulling people up when they're
Hmm.
down, but I'm definitely not gonna pull people down.
Yeah.
Like I would and I also like I strive in my gameplay to be like very stable and to like have that as something people can rely on. So if like things are going wrong, like I still wanna be like consistent in my own performance. So it's way more about myself than like trying to I'm not the person to pull up other people. Like I'll try my best. Sometimes I can have like a
Yeah.
motivational speech of some sort. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, back then, probably less than now. Like nowadays, like I'm much more, like I'm older and I can do it. Like I understand what people need. But
Hmm.
back then, like we had so many, we also had like star players. It's like, it's hard to be like, some people just need different things. And like to me, like Yatoro and Sumail were not the type of players that needed like
Talking.
some guy to be like they
Yeah.
did not lead like high speeches at all. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so it just depends what your team needs. But for me, like just staying consistent with like your own gameplay and like understanding what you need to do
Hmm.
and have something that people can expect is good.
Yeah. Then how would you compare like the next TI? So was it? Yeah. So last TI you got third, fourth. You go to this one, you end up fifth, sixth. So
Mm.
slightly worse. You have I think similar trajectory. Yeah, in the upper. Again, I think you guys look really good. You slay Secret. you play against OG again, and then you do like some lower bracket. Do you feel like this TI is much different, or like what did this one come down to in a way?
No, I mean, from my point of view, and I think also just like our team in general, like there's a big difference between this TI and TI8. Like I
Okay.
think TI8 we were actually like a top 3 team, maybe even top 2. And this tournament, we got probably like a little bit more than what we deserved at the end of the day. Maybe it was like pretty accurate.
Hmm.
I think we were like not very good at this TI. We kind of pulled like a win out, like the game 3 against Secret. We just pulled it out of our ass and kind of just won.
Yeah.
And then I think against OG, this TI they were much better. Like this TI OG was like by far
Yeah,
the
they
best
actually
team.
peaked, I think, here.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
they were
this
crazy.
was they were very good this TI. So like I think we were close to winning against them. Obviously, it was game 3. I don't really. Game 3 was.
Game 3, you have the anti-mage against
Oh, we
Jug, I
had
think.
TB. We had. Oh yeah, that was game 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
no, it
is
was this.
2.
This is the game we should have won. Yeah, we should have won this game.
Yeah, we were up.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, like when I look back on it, like they were just much better. Like they had such a good like they were like by far the best team. So
Hmm.
like losing to them was kind of expected. Like maybe we could have pulled it off and like but yeah, at the end of the day, like I feel like they were much better. And then in the lower bracket as well, like there's like no way. There was just no way. Like we
I
were
mean,
just
Liquid were also pretty good.
yeah. So nah, I think this was pretty much expected for us. Like this is what we.
Hmm.
I don't think we like should have gotten more than this really. Like we're going into even going into it, like we didn't like we had a rough boot camp. I think this was in China. Like our
Yeah.
boot camp was very emotional. Like we're not doing very well, and yeah, I think we were happy with what we got after.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting because at least if I remember, like looking from back then, I thought you guys were pretty good. I mean, definitely like OG had like the biggest step up from the year before because I mean TI8 barely anyone I think expected them to win, but TI9 they actually came in and they were like giga clutch.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think people like were going into it were really expecting them to do like because they were not doing well during the year, but
yeah,
like then once they like at TI they were just beasts, and
yeah.
like I think it was very unexpected, but like when you look back at it, they were very good.
Mhm. Some of the differences that you guys talk about like during this bootcamp, was it just like like people discussing after the game like strategies that what you guys aren't playing isn't correct, or is like some personal clash? Like, was there more to it, or is it just like your normal team has a disagreement every now and then type deal?
Uh, no, it's just like bad results and like people like we've been together for a long time at this point, and I think just like we really had to like be on our like everyone had to like dig deep to stay like emotionally stable,
Yeah, yeah,
And like when you keep losing scrims, like you have really rough set of like just like if we probably had like 2 week boot camp in China, and when you lose most games, like at some point it's like somebody is like in the depths of hell and just like the
yeah,
depression is just like too much, and like you really have to like, and everyone else is obviously also not feeling too good, so like you really have to somebody has to pull it out of there, And
yeah,
Bulba
yeah,
took like Bulba had a really rough time, like because I think he had to deal with most of it. Like he was kind of managing people,
yeah,
like making
yeah.
sure people stayed emotionally stable. And Phil was there as well. Phil was very important for this because he was like kind of our cornerstone in terms of like emotional stability.
Hmm.
So I think we kind of pulled it back before TI started, but I still think like that TI our group. I don't remember if the group stage was that. I feel like we were close to like having a rough group stage or something, and then we kind of just pulled through at the end. But I could be wrong.
Let's have a look. Yeah, you did pull it together.
It's yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I think we just didn't really feel that good in this TI, and then we won against Secret, was just kind of like I
Hmm.
think Secret was probably a better team than us.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So then that kind of concludes TI9. I think at the next TI, is this already the one where you play with Iceiceice, or is that later?
Yeah, no, it's the 2021. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. I mean, you can
I
walk
think
me through, I would say, like the next couple months and like the next 2 years as well. If there's like something that, yeah, I guess that stands out to you
no,
during this
yeah, I mean, I
time.
think I think this year we're actually quite good. Like we obviously
Mm-hmm.
had 2 grand finals. Like we lost to
Was Singapore and
IG.
something?
Yeah, we lost to IG in Singapore. And then we lost to
These two, yeah.
LGD. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
we were actually pretty good this. Like I feel like we deserve. Like we were good enough. Obviously, we should have won the one in Singapore. Like shit happens. But
Yeah.
going into TI, like I think we were actually quite good.
Mm-hmm.
I think 9-12 was a pretty big disappointment for us in terms of like we for sure should have beat Vici. Like how far we would have gone, I'm not sure, but like that was a team like we should have beat.
Yeah.
So like yeah, that was definitely like since I guess TI7 like the worst TI like result wise, like it was
Yeah.
pretty rough. But yeah, that season was good for us, and like we were pretty happy playing together. Like I remember like when Abed like playing with Abed and Daryl was just very enjoyable. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, like I really enjoy working with both of them. Just easy to work with, and Daryl is like, in terms of like style, like the offlaner, that was like the easiest for me to play with because he had like such a good understanding
Mm-hmm.
of like how to play different roles like you could play anything offlane, like you could do whatever, he could play Su, he could play jump, like he was just like very, as a four player, very enabling.
Yeah.
I could do whatever I wanted, like, and it was very enjoyable. So I think like that year was pretty good for us, just except for the TI,
Yeah.
which is like, yeah, pretty important.
Then how about, I guess, the next one until kind of like where you ride out like the end?
This is what I don't, is this a Saber? What's this Saber after this? No,
This
this is Igor. Oh yeah, this is
this is
with
like COVID times ish, no? Like COVID plus a bit after. This is not. This is
uh
Igor Abed.
yeah, no, COVID was with Ramses, so that was, when was that? That was 2020. COVID is like a little bit before
Oh,
this,
that
so
was
that
already
was like
here. Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's before, yeah. So this was with Igor. That one was that was a pretty rough year, I won't lie. That was very hard for us. Like we
Okay.
had to go through a lot in this year just to like, it started off really bad too, because like we couldn't get him a visa, and then Boba had to like be in Mexico with him to play stuff, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just, that was the start of the team. We also, was this when, yeah, this was when Jerax joined as well, I think.
He was there at the
Uh,
start of the year
yeah, at
with
the
you
start.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
with us until he was there until Stockholm that year, I think. Stockholm was it Stockholm or Berlin? No, it was
Stockholm.
Stockholm. Yeah,
Yeah. This
Stockholm.
one.
This was the last one where
Yeah.
we're literally last play. Like, there's only one team that got, like, when teams like lost the tournament, they got kicked out of the hotel and everything.
Oh
There's
shit.
only
Yeah.
one team in this tournament that got, it was
Oh
us. Like
no.
everyone,
Yeah.
yeah. So this was like, this one was really
Yeah. This
rough.
was disaster. Okay. I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then at this point, like, I think we kind of like all just gave up on the JRX5
Mm-hmm.
like project, like him included. Like it was like not working out.
Yeah.
So then Tal came back, which I think was like a saving grace, to be honest. Like we became a decent amount better when he came back. And honestly, that TI, like we had an insane group stage. Like we were like insanely good at that groups.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're
then
talking about
we,
this one. The
yeah, yeah, 2022, yeah.
yeah.
Like we were like almost flawless group stage, and then yeah,
Yeah. That's Giga.
yeah, and then we chose to play against South America, and we just got we got punished.
Oh, you got your
Uh,
yeah. Okay. Karma gave you SA twice after you did that. Even. Okay.
yeah,
I
so
see.
like we just got destroyed. But to be honest, I don't know how we did so well in the group stage, because like I remember the boot camp was awful. We were like really bad, and then
Okay.
we like played Entity right before this TI started, and they
Mm-hmm.
were playing Brood in scrims.
Yeah.
And then it was like the day before TI started, and we're just like, okay, let's just play Brood. And then Igor just started playing Brood, and we just won every game. And it was like we'd had 2 weeks boot camp, not playing any Brood games, and we just stole it
Yeah.
from them, and then we won like every game. And then
Sometimes
I don't know.
that's what it takes. Just need one idea or one game.
Yeah, it just didn't really snowball into the main event. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we had like this was a really rough year. I think just like culturally, we didn't really match with Nightfall that well,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of work for everyone. Like him, of course, even more than anyone else, because he was like on a completely different type of team, like speaking English, all this stuff. So like it was very hard for him, and for us, like we were kind of trying to like mold him as well as a little bit, and I think it was just not working. Like he's very like set in his
Yeah.
way of
Yeah.
playing.
Okay, that makes sense. Because then, so at this point, so I mean, we're here now towards like the end of 2022. So even here, you're like quite strong that you still want to like continue with the team, you guys make some more changes and still like obviously try because you stay with
Yeah.
them. How was that for you? Like, was it ever like did it ever become like a bigger consideration, like where you
No,
second
for sure.
guessed?
No, for sure, for sure. Like there was like I think the I don't remember. I think after the one where we lost to Vici, I was still pretty confident.
Mm-hmm.
I was not sure about like because I remember after this year I really wanted to play with Neta. Like Neta was wanting to join. And we chose Nightfall over him because that was the year where Spirit won with Collapse and like
Oh damn! So
everyone
it
wanted
was
like a
at
high
this TI.
skill.
It was
Yeah,
at.
after this TI we were talking about getting like 33
Uh-huh. Yeah.
or Nightfall. And then I think I mean obviously in hindsight it's easy to say, right? But
Yeah.
I think like after this TI I was pretty confident still. And then after the next one where we lost with Nightfall, like I think all of us kind of probably just like looked at what options were there. Like I don't think we were like super like committed to each other. Like we were like still happy with each other. Like for me, like I never lost faith in like the ability of like a Tor and Abed to win big tournaments. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like it was never really a doubt. So then like I was always fine to stay. Like I was happy to stay, and I knew like we could win tournaments. So then I think I don't remember exactly what happened, but like roster shuffle, like TI shuffles are always like you're talking to people, you know, and seeing
Yeah.
what's there. But like at the end of the day, like there's no better, like there was no option where I was more happy than playing with Ator and Abed as like the core of the team. That's why we just ended up being the same team for so long, I think.
Yeah. So
And then
then.
obviously we
Mhm.
yeah, that's I think that's when we joined Shopify as well. And Shopify was like a very good, like a very good org as well. Like it
Yeah.
was much like just the like probably the best org I've worked with in Dota. Like it just
Well done.
like very enjoyable. Like it's also like a very good system to have where you're just working directly with like Shopify is just we're just part of their marketing team, you know, like they're
Yeah.
just directly there's no like you're not like working for somebody to then like do advertisement for somebody, but you're just working directly with the people you're doing advertisement for, which is like very
Yeah.
easy and like there's no third party. And that was like a very enjoyable experience to be honest. So I think that was part of the reason why we're also just like happy to see how that went.
Mm-hmm. So then, like this type of season, because then it comes to an end. I mean, you guys go to TI unless you have like something big. I would say you want to talk about these games. The start looks pretty good. Like some Lima Major, you get fourth. Dream League, you get third. But then it kind of tapers off until you had like this pretty good Dream League. I remember this one. You weren't in the. I think this was the finals against Spirit where they just introduced gates or something. I remember like Arthur playing
Uh,
Ursus or something like that.
I think was it that one? Yeah, it might have been. If it's the one where we beat Tundra, then that's the one. I guess it is.
There's some Tundra,
Uh,
bedroom,
uh,
fire.
that has to be a different one then. I
Okay.
don't really remember. I
Yeah, it looks
remember
like
that we
I'm wrong.
played.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because the one we played, it was like we had Mikey play with Mikey as a stand-in.
Oh, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was probably the one before that season. It's the season 19. It's the 19 one.
That's this
The
one.
this one.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the one, I think, where we just Gates just got introduced and then we played against Tundra and like Tor was going, Tor was just going crazy. I
No,
remember
I
talking
remember this
to
was good.
Skiter. I was
Yeah.
remember talking to Skiter about it. He was like, he had no idea what was going on because like there was just an Earth in his lane at minute 3, and he
Yeah,
was
I
like, "What the
remember
hell?"
this.
Yeah, this was really fun. I don't think I'll forget playing this. This was really fun tournament.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like there were good moments for this team. I think and I
Mm-hmm.
think Saber was definitely better fit than Nightfall in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't really like it's hard to say. Like we just couldn't really put it together. I guess like
Mm-hmm.
this year is really hard for me to remember specifics on like what went
Yeah.
wrong. Like I would have to look at the games because like we're just it's a blur of like a lot of just shit compiled
Yeah.
together. You know,
Yeah, because
other
here, I
teams
mean,
being much better.
obviously, like you guys didn't do well. This was, I think, now your because you've played at every TI. I think this
Mhm.
was. Is this your worst result? Maybe I have it somewhere.
This and this nine
Yeah,
12. Yeah,
this is. These were like your
yeah.
your worst results. So what kind of now made it that you were like, okay, like this is the point where I need something different? Because this is before you join Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, I had already like so. What happened this year was after Riyadh, because you can see Riyadh was also really bad for us. Like we just
Yeah,
that was actually like even
horrible. Yeah.
worse. Yeah. After Riyadh this year, like I talked to Yatoro and I was like, we had a talk, just us two, and we were like, yeah, we're probably better off like splitting off after TI. And like I think that was like we just kind of agreed like it's probably time to call it a day. Like no matter what happens at TI, like we should probably just go separate ways and just see, try our luck separate.
Mhm.
So then after TI, I looked at my options and then I knew I wanted to play with Skiter and Snay. Like that was my biggest like that's what kind of like made me come to this team. I think like I reached out to them and
Mhm.
then they were kind of building. I think they had like a lot of different ideas. Like they had some idea with Ammar. We talked about Saber as well.
Mhm.
And then there's Sumail and Malrine. Like there's a bunch of players like in the mix. And then at the end, yeah, then it just kind of ended up being like this. I know they really wanted Ammar, and then obviously like we just had to find a sponsor, and then it just ended up being Falcons. Kind of just starting back then, like they were just searching for a team, and then Ammar obviously was like. I think Ammar was signed to Falcons before like we even built the team. Like they really wanted
Oh,
Ammar, because
yeah, yeah.
obviously like um so then yeah, we just ended up being on Falcons and then yeah, I mean it was a bit of a weird that was like a very weird time. Like I knew it was because I was like at this point pretty down. Like my performances like were pretty bad individually and like obviously our result like the last like 5 months have been like completely disastrous, it's been like
Yeah.
miserable. So then I was like, okay, I gotta like kind of dig deep and try to just
Mhm.
focus on myself. Um, and like I think just playing with new like both Malrine and Ammar, and like I remember like I had to cancel like a vacation I had planned for a year to play this fucking qualifier for ESL one. Like they literally had a qualifier for
It was
the
like instant, no?
it was right after TI. I'm like, okay, great. Like I'm just gonna just not do my vacation. And then I went to Jordan, and
Mhm.
I just remember like it being such a grind. Like we were sitting in a net cafe that's like full of smoke, and I'm like, just yeah. I just remember like having to kind of relearn Dota, like
Yeah.
playing with new people that have like Snee and Skitter had like very different ideas about Dota than I did, obviously, and then also having the kids that were like both completely new. And I mean, Ammar not completely new, but like he was never really in a structured like competitive setting. I
Yeah.
think like he was an OG and Nick man. It's like a lot more like free flowing and not so much structure. And I think just like finding that balance in that first qualifier with um like all of us coming together in like very short amount of time together before having to play that
Yeah.
was pretty intense. And like I just remember having to like learn new stuff like how to play because I hadn't really played like a very greedy push 4 in a long time, and then I was like playing Spirit Breaker with Midas Octarine for like 4 games in a row, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it's a new life. And then that was kind of the start of the team.
Yeah. So when you started playing with them, because yeah, I mean, you can see it even now. Like Ammar is a very different, both I think person and like player than maybe the people you've like been used to. What's like something you had to get used to, or that you were like teaching him, or like yeah, kind of how did you guys like start building your relationship in a way? Because to me, Ammar, he looks very. I mean, he's one of the best, but it's also you have like veteran and experienced player like you and coming into like this super highly skilled young kid who's quite cocky, at least looking from the outside in. So how did you guys like build that?
Mm, it's kind of hard to say, to be honest, because for me, I think every time I played with like the Miracles and the Sumails and the Amars, like the mechanical like anomalies of skill,
Yeah. Yeah.
like for me, I think the best way to kind of connect with these type of players is just to like match them, like just show them that you're also like that you can do the same thing, like for
Hmm.
me that was always like the biggest thing. So like I've really focused hard on just playing like the first couple of months on this team. Like I was just like trying to get back into like being the best that I could be, like trying to be the best player in my role and just like do my job, and just
Mhm.
kind of doing it that way. I don't think there was any like teaching from me towards Ammar in any way. Like it came after, like later when there's like an established relationship and like a respect towards each other, where like we understand that we both know like how the game works.
Mhm.
And then when that's already there, like it's easier for you to talk about stuff where like that are like where you have like maybe different opinions. Like you can
Yeah.
easily like see it from the other person's perspective when you understand like each other more. So for like the first, I think the most of the teaching that was done by like Sneh and Skiter, like the
Okay.
first 2 months, because we didn't have AUI. So they kind of like laid the foundation for the team in terms of like how did we want to um like how do we want like what's our philosophy, like how do we want to play, like what's our
Yeah. Yeah.
fundamentals of like how do we think as a team. Like it was mostly from them, and I think obviously like after we started working with AUI, it's easy for me to see like where they where they have it from. Like they're kind of
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
taking his teachings and putting it on them, or like I don't know like their the idea that they built together in Tundra, like they kind of just implemented that. And then obviously like some things that I knew from like my experience as well, like also because I was playing against Tundra, like I also understand like how the other side works. Like I know there are things that they didn't understand, like I could teach them as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of like I think it kind of just came in between, like like when stuff pops up, like they'll say like their partner, I'll just tell them, oh, what, like look at it this way, and then it all kind of comes together. Like we have like enough like mutual respect to kind of like learn from each other and also see like the different perspectives, because my like the way I was playing on Shopify and EG was like very different than the way Tundra plays. Like it was much more tempo based and like
Mhm.
uh yeah. And Tundra was always very much like a control of the map and like how we play now pretty much. So also just from my role, like my role is like historically, the four role is more of like you set the tempo and like you're kind of making the place on the map. And I think on this team especially, like I think Skiter is really good at playing like playmaking cores, but like we had two kids that were very like farm heavy,
Yeah.
and Malrine especially like at the start because he was a pub player mostly, and like I had to work a lot with him in terms of like how do you kill people, like how do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
play the game but against good players, like how do you have to read the map and these things. And that's still like a thing that we do, like still now, like it's a constant thing you have to like work on because people get better and you have to kind of relearn stuff as well. Like there's so many things in Dota, like it's constantly like old things will pop back into the meta, and like the ways people think about the game, you have to reintroduce it to your team. And I think that's the good thing about experience, is that you already know stuff, you just have to kind of refocus on it.
Yeah. What would you say is like one of the biggest things that you guys actually worked on, like in Falcons, from like the start to now?
I mean, for me, the biggest thing that like I can say that I learned, or like that I think the like the cornerstone of the team is like being
Mhm.
patient. Like the way that we always we always have a feeling that we'll win the game over time. Like we're never worried about, oh, we have to win in like the next 5 minutes or we're gonna lose, or like
Mhm.
this guy's gonna outscale us or something. Like the patience and just like not being stressed, I think is like the biggest thing for us. And that was like kind of brought in from the Tundra people. I think that's like a constant in our team. Like when we play well, that's the reason why, and when we don't play, like when we're losing, that's because we don't do it. Um, yeah.
Okay. And once Aoi joined, because like you said, also he wasn't there from like the very get go, and I don't know, had you worked with him before
No.
Falcons? No. So like, what were some of your first impressions of him, like being in the team, or like just like the general stuff that he was bringing to you, like at the start? Was it kind of what you expected?
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't think it was too, like I said, like how it was for us was like so we played the first qualifier and we played the Kuala Lumpur without him.
Yeah.
And then the next three qualifiers, he was with us. And I think like he kind of just extended what like Sneh and Skidder had. Like I think he kind of like he basically just worked on what they'd already like tried to teach us, like the rest of the team.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing for us was like he kind of just took away some stress from like because like I said, like the first 2 months, like there's a lot of coaching going on between players. Like
Yeah.
Snay and Skiter like coaching the rest of us to some extent, you know. And I think that's a pretty bad dynamic to have in general because it just becomes like a weird like you're not really just 5 players. You're kind of like it's not even in a way. And that kind of like that's kind of why we did bad in Kuala Lumpur as well. Like we got frustrated with it. Like there's just frustration and like
Okay.
there's just not like an equal dynamic. And then when he came in, like it was much more just like okay, everyone's just focused on themselves. You know, everyone's just playing the game. Like he'll do like the talks and like he'll set like the foundations. He'll tell us what went wrong. These
Hmm.
type of things. You know. So then everyone else was just chilling. You know, doing their job, playing the game,
Yeah.
and there's no like internal player to player conflict or like discussion or like anything. There's only like really helping each other. Like you're talking about stuff where uh like you're trying to help each other, you know, not like trying to teach. And I think that's like a big difference. And I think a lot like especially in like a lot of like tier 2 teams and tier 3 teams, like that's like the biggest problem is when there's like a power dynamic that's off. Like some player has
Yeah.
like some higher status than the rest, and then like it just becomes like you're not a team, you know. And I think that was not really a thing for us. Like we kind of just got that eliminated, and I think AUI is probably the biggest factor in that. And I think like in general, like just having a coach, like that's the biggest thing your coach like should be doing. Is like you should have 5 players that are all equal, and then you have a coach that's like telling you, you know, what's going
Yeah.
on. Like
Yeah.
a third party that's objective and looking at the games from without being part of it. Um, yeah.
All right. I mean, obviously it worked out really well because this entire year, basically, I mean, you guys just shit on people until maybe TI, where you guys get fourth. So how would you say like this TI was for you guys? Maybe like in terms of expectations, and then also like how you guys performed. Like, why do you feel like you maybe fell a bit short at TI compared to like the lands you played during the year?
I mean, I'd say Riyadh as well that year. Like Riyadh, we were quite heavy favorites, I think. Like the
Mm-hmm.
meta
True.
changed a little bit out of our favor with like there's a lot of auras and stuff, and that kind of like determined the top 2, I think.
Yeah.
But we also failed to adapt in that manner, you know. Like we were a better team than both these teams, I feel like, but we were just not on the meta, and
Yeah, I
that's just
remember it's all these fast
sometimes
games. Yeah.
yeah. So that's just sometimes that's how it goes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think yeah, I mean this was like a bad result for us, but we kind of like we knew what we messed up, and then at TI, I think we're also quite good. Like to be honest, I think we
Mm-hmm.
were. I don't remember the oh yeah the upper bracketers against Tundra. Yeah, yeah. So this one was a bit rough. But we had a lot of problems with Doombringer in this tournament. Like we consistently tried to play Doom,
Yeah, I do
and it
remember
was
that.
just
Yeah, the
yeah.
Marvel.
So there was just not that much success for us, and then
Mm-hmm.
we kind of pulled it together in the lower bracket. Like we were kind of steamrolling them, everyone, and then
Yeah.
against Tundra, uh, I don't really remember the first game too much. Oh yeah, we had Doom again. No, we didn't have Doom. They had Doom.
Yeah, they had Doom. They had 33 Doom. Oh yeah, of course. It's the lone druid stuff. I remember this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. No, yeah. No, this is the game I remember because we had like we'd never played Bristol, but like this Bristol was actually quite broken,
Yeah.
and we just like kind of yelled it. But like at the end of the day, you know, it's hard to say in hindsight. But this
Yeah.
game we could have won. Like we are kind of winning the game,
You're actually
and
doing okay.
then
Yeah.
yeah, and the other game I don't really remember. The other game was oh yeah, yeah,
This one looks a bit sus.
yeah. I think there's some draft problem because we have like our support duo is not something we would usually run, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so like a little bit of this one I feel like was not the best draft, but the game too, you know, we should. I don't know. It's just it's hard to look back and be like, oh yeah, but did you just lose one best of 3, you know, and then
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
out, and it's we were a good team going into this TI, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean this TI was very important for me. Like this was in Copenhagen. I was
Yeah.
very yeah, I was quite
Yeah.
upset when we
I
lost this
have
one.
We can look at this real quick because I saw this in your guys' documentary. I mean, it's basically what you're talking about.
Stage and show the world that Falcons is still the best.
You just talk about like that it's very important for you.
I would say last year when I was in Denmark was very big for me, and I think
I mean,
probably the hardest loss
that
I've
TI
had, so
was like
I'm
the
determined
sad
to
thing about
bounce
that
back.
TI, like losing it was like the realization for me is like it's just never gonna be important again, you know? Like I had that feeling after
Mm-hmm.
that TI, like there's never gonna be a tournament that I'm gonna play where I'm gonna care as much about winning as I did in this TI, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's just never gonna happen. So that was like a very depressing like
I
thought
see. Yeah,
process.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Which is like maybe also like a good thing to some extent because I'm just playing with less pressure, I guess,
Yeah.
in some way. Like I'm just, you know, like this year's TI, I was kind of like whatever the whole time through. Like we just, you know, it was just another TI, and then
Yeah.
we ended up winning. So there's probably some positive to it, but yeah, after that TI, like that was probably like the worst I've felt after like a loss. Like the only other time I remember crying after a TI was like probably TI7. Like when we lost TI7, I remember like I was pretty sad, and then
Yeah.
this TI I was just done, you know, for like yeah, it was a rough one. So like I had like, obviously I had all my friends, all my family was there.
Yeah.
It was just, and also because we're favorites going in, I was like, okay, this could actually be like amazing. And I think it could have been, but like at the end of the day, Dota is just like very ruthless like that. Tournaments are sometimes just not a coin toss, but like, you know, you go into it and it's like small things happen and you just don't
Yeah.
win, but like it's just small things that change whether or not you win. So kind of hard
Also,
to
like the favorites usually don't win TI. Like Dota doesn't like
yeah.
let you do it. I mean, at least then like the next TI you get the reverse cry. I guess it's gonna be the happy cry, which we can get to later.
Yeah.
So then, how about the next season? Because you guys were still great, but you definitely experienced like some rough moments. I would say, at least, you know, as like working these events, it's like, okay, they're not going to every grand final, they're not winning every event. Like, walk me through this season until the start of like TI.
Uh, I mean, we had a lot of like external problems this season, which I think was like kind of hard to see from like an outside perspective. Like we had like no proper boot camps. We had like visa problems, stand-ins, like these type of things, you know, and
True.
it
Yeah.
kind of messes with your dynamic a lot, especially when you're like we're a team that thrives a lot when we have time to boot camp and be together. And this season we had like no boot camps except for right before the first Fisher, which was we lost in the grand final. We had a
Mm-hmm.
boot camp before that, and then we
Yeah.
had a boot camp before Riyadh, in which we got second. So like those were the two tournaments where we actually had good preparation, and we got second in both of them. So like it's kind of hard to tell like how this season would have been
Okay.
because we just like had so many issues. Like I said, I think we played with Sumail, I think, in one Dream League, and then
Played
we
with
played with
9, I think, in the
no,
Wallachia,
that
maybe.
was I think that was a year before.
That was already before. Holy shit! Yeah, you guys had a lot of stand-ins.
Yeah. Actually, was it? I don't remember. Maybe it was maybe it was this one. Anyway,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it might have been this one.
Yeah.
But we also played with Quinn in Rally. Like we had just so many like problems with visas. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of hard. Like I don't have like the season was not like bad for us. You know, like I
Mhm.
think after Rally we had a bit of a like that was like our roughest point as a team. Like we were pretty. People were like not happy and like there were some heated discussions. You know, which is like fine, but
Mhm.
yeah, that was probably the roughest one. And then that's when we like changed to Ammar Drafting because we wanted to change something.
Yeah.
Which was yeah, I think it was good, but like I'm not sure like how much it mattered for us immediately. I don't think it changed that much. I think for TI it had a pretty big impact just because Snay had like a lot more freedom to just like do his job, and he was still like helping with um like what he was doing before, you know, like he was
Mhm.
still strategically helping, but he just had the freedom to like do it without like any pressure, you know. And I think it
Yeah.
really made him perform a lot better at TI. So yeah, in that way, it was like kind of like an investment.
Mhm. Because it definitely showed. I think Snake kind of he owned that TI. I mean, Aoi, when he was on before, he also kind of said the same. That Snaking was like actually kind of beasting. at some point at TI as well. So then you guys go to TI, and I feel like some of your at least earlier matches. Let me see. I mean, you guys had like all the long matches in a row, and they didn't all look that clean. So how did these
Oh, they're
games like
definitely not.
feel for you? And like, I mean, maybe before we do that, I found this clip also from your guys' documentary. You can read the subtitles or have sound, up to you.
I think just one thing is like the comms in the late game. Like I don't want to hear people arguing about like what's that. Like it's, to me it was completely insane. Like at some point like it's late game and like everything is fine, but like we start like making snarky comments towards each other even though nothing's wrong. Like I just don't want like we're like on the same team and we're all like making big mistakes. Like let's just like not do that.
I believe that this was at least how it goes in the documentary. This was after like a tidebound game. I think it's this series. You guys like lose. Do you remember this moment? Like what happened?
I think after I said this was like after we won a game, but like we're
Okay.
winning a lot, and then like we're still like making it hard for ourselves. Like we're kind of getting stressed out and like frustrated with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said like before, it's kind of like the one thing that I think for us as a team is when we're patient and we have like good comms and nothing, like we're not stressed out and we're not getting frustrated with each other. Like that's we're gonna win every time, you know.
Yeah.
So like when I feel like that's like because that if that's happening to us when we're winning, like that's a problem, you know. Like that's
Oh,
something
for
that we
sure.
have to address.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly when it was. Maybe like was the upper bracket final played from the hotel in TI? I think it was, right? Yeah, I think it must have been. I think
This
it
one, you
must have
mean?
been. Yeah, it must have been after like one of these games, probably.
Yeah. I was against them here or in the groups, but either way, it's
Yeah.
because this definitely it like it stood out because it means that like obviously it happens, people get like emotional in the game, and it's something that needs to be talked about. But when would you say you guys like picked it up during TI? Because like I was saying, also the start it definitely looked messy. So when do you guys feel like you kind of like cleaned it up, or did it just happen like naturally throughout all the series?
I think like what I was saying in that clip is kind of like the entire group stage kind of was like that in a way. And I think
Mm-hmm.
after like before we played Spirit, we kind of had a talk and like we somewhat fixed it. But then at the end of the day, like we were playing in Spirit, which I think we were like expecting to play in the final, you know.
Yeah.
So this was a very stressed like before going into the series. Like I think it's just like before you go into a series like that, it's elimination against Team Spirit. Like you kind of have to like accept in yourself, like okay, there's a decent chance that we're not going to win. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's Spirit. Like we have
Yeah.
to just like we have to accept the fact that you're not guaranteed to go through. Like you don't deserve to go through or like play more. Like you've already put yourself in a position like this, so then you just like you have to accept the fact that there's a chance you might lose. You know, and then after that you can kind of just focus on doing your best and like trying to make it so that afterwards if you do lose like at least you don't have any regrets, like at least you tried your best and like you know like that's the biggest thing for me that I've learned through the years. It's like when you play TI you don't want to have afterwards some feeling that like oh I really like in this situation like I was not being a good teammate or like oh I
Mm-hmm.
you know like you're just like not doing your most to win. So like I think just doing that to yourself makes it so that you can put yourself in a better like mindset and just being calm and like just play the game, you know, try your best to win. And I think we played like the first game was very easy for us. Like this game was like very draft. Or was it the
Yeah.
first? No, second game. It was
This
the
one.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second game was very easy. But the first game, obviously, like yeah, I feel like we were very confident in our draft in the first game. But then like it just became like some spirit game where like we're just getting like Collapse are completely shitting on us, you know, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just a mess. And then somehow we end up winning. I think Ammar did like very good in this game. Like he did a lot of good calls and like
Yeah, I remember this game
I-
was kind of crazy. There was a
yeah, it
lot
was
of this.
it was a lot of swings. Like there's some Aegis still. Like it was messy.
Yeah.
And then at some point, like Ammar just like kept saying like I don't know. I still make fun of him for it because like sometimes he just has these things where he's like, I don't know how to win this game. I don't know how to win this. He just kept saying,
Oh, really?
like yeah, he's
That's
just like
hilarious.
I mean he's kind of like joking, you know, like the
Yeah,
game
yeah,
is
yeah.
kind of chill and
Yeah.
like he's like just like God, I don't know. How to, he's just talking to himself, you know. I still make fun of him
It's
to
like
like about
schizo.
it. To, yeah, like legendary team spirit. Like he just doesn't know he you know
Yeah.
like those type of things. I mean, it's just it's just messy. Like you're playing TI and you know spirits like if they perform like
They're
they're
yeah.
the best, they're the best, you know. So it's like you're kind of just hoping that you can perform to your best, and then if they do the same, like
Yeah.
hopefully it's enough.
When
And
did
I think
you yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, I think after that series, like that was like we're much more relaxed after that because we're like, okay, like
Mhm.
if we can get through that, like you know, at least we've done our part, you know, like
Yeah.
we've already like we've been through the rough part, and then I think after this point, like we never really got frustrated with each other at any point. Like we were very stable emotionally. Like
Mhm.
we looked at the games rationally after every game we played. Like we lost game one against Spedboom, we're completely chill.
Okay.
Like we were just looking at the game, like talked about what went wrong, like we fixed what we needed to in draft, and like same thing for Pari. Like it was just very easy to work. Like I think we were much more emotionally stable than the other teams. And like I said at TI, like it's pretty much that's what matters, you know.
Yeah.
And I think just I think we did a really good job. And it's kind of hard for me to quantify like what happened for us to be in that state. Like I think everyone just individually, like I guess we had some good talks, or like people were just like everything just matched together. I don't know how to say it, you know. It just
Yeah, yeah.
lined up. Like it's just everyone was in their best behavior. Like people were being good teammates. People were playing like I wouldn't say we played amazing, but we played good enough, you know. And
Mhm.
then when you're playing like good enough and like everyone is working well as a team, like that's what happens. You know, you end up winning.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I mean, I was watching this because it's definitely a very big difference with how you guys are talking. And Skiter just goes, after this game, why don't we just ban like these two heroes and the 9 class can't play? And you guys were all like very chill with each other because it definitely showed. Like doesn't matter if you guys like win or lose some game if you can just talk to each other like normally. And you guys then just have your gameplay does the talking. You guys were kind of like cruising from that point on because you like did it
yeah,
throughout the
and
entire groups. You do it to them.
yeah. I think also just it just was a good like we're in a good spot in terms of like trusting each other too, because like Ammar was drafting, but at the end of the day, like it's not that straightforward that he's just doing the drafts, you
Everything.
know. So
Hmm.
like, yeah, it's very much like a team effort. Like in Riyadh, for example, like I was doing a lot of like the draft, not the drafting, but like I was helping a lot with like what we want to do. And then in this tournament, like it was a lot of like there'll be some random suggestion from Snail, like he'll have some good call about like something, and then I remember like we had a really good meta in terms of our five pool. Like we were not playing Enchant Chen and nobody else was playing Enchant Chen, so like
Yeah.
that's a big thing. And then like things like that where Skiter just says like he's able to just say like, can we just what happens if we just ban the four pool, and then like there's no like Ammar doesn't get frustrated or anything. Like he doesn't have pride in the
Yeah, I could
draft or anything,
tell.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like he just listens to it, and like he's able to like take that information and respect that it's one of his teammates that like says it because he wants to win. You know, it's not
Yeah.
saying it because he's trying to flame the previous draft or anything. It's just like
Yeah.
yeah. So like
Which
working like
happens a
that,
lot.
and
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
probably something that like the like normal viewer maybe doesn't understand. It's sometimes hard to intake something after a game when it's like maybe more your responsibility than someone else. I just like want people to understand that it's not actually rare at all, like what you just said, that it can be a
yeah.
problem.
I mean, the thing about Dota is like it's very complex, right? So like after you lose a game, like there's probably like I mean sometimes it's very obvious to everyone in the team like why you lost. Like it can be something very like you're fucked. Like you give like a 0-5 and lose Roche, like it's pretty obvious. Like you
Yeah,
messed
yeah.
that up, but like most of the time, like you lose a game because of like 30 different small mistakes, and everyone has a different opinion about like what was the biggest problem, you know.
Hmm.
And then like after the game, if you go out and talk about it, then everyone is like mad or like you know like you can talk about it, you just keep talking about it. Like it's like an endless circle because nobody's really wrong. Like it's all correct. Like oh yeah, that was a mistake. That was also a mistake. Oh yeah, but what are you really trying to do? And I think like being able to just come out and like just reset, like AU, I would just say like
Hmm.
what's like his biggest points, and then like we can just talk about like what to do next game, and then like somebody has a strong idea, like Skitter in that example, like just says it, and then like we can just think about it without like having any like bad emotions surrounding it or like any ego like coming in the way, like anything like that. So I think yeah, I mean it's how it's supposed to be, but like it's easier said than done. Like having like an environment where people can suggest stuff and like you're just working like that's like pretty much like how it's supposed to be functioning, you know. It's just in Dota because the game is so complex, like it's really hard to just it's hard to always just come together and like everyone being able to like trust each other enough to be at a point where like you listen to what somebody says without even like considering your own opinion first, you know, like that type of thing. It's really hard. Like it's almost like it's more like rare than not, you know, like it's more common that you have like a situation where people like argue or like say different points and then like you kind of don't really get to a conclusion. That's like more the norm, I feel like, for most teams than it is to like just be like a really in sync team, like a unit. And I think like we were just very, I wouldn't say lucky, but like we were fortunate that it kind of just hit for us at TI. Like, and I think it also just comes through the experiences you have. Like we lost Riyadh to Spirit, and like those type of losses will kind of help you like improve as a team, you know. And then like for the next time, like we had already learned like individually, like the way your emotional reaction to stuff, how it is, like you're able to better handle it the next time. So like we lost one grand final to in a big tournament, Riyadh, then we go into the next one and like when we played against Extreme in the final, like I feel like that loss in the final helped us a lot because like we lose game one and we're like completely fine, you know, we reset for game two and then we lose game three and like we're still completely fine and like we end up being able to like just do what we want. Like we changed some small things and like we just pretty much play a best of five without any like we did not let like the occasion change anything for us. And like I think that's comes from like the experience of previous tournaments, you know. So yeah.
Oh, that's super cool and interesting to hear. The difference, like, or what do you feel like was actually the difference in like the last games that you played versus XG? Like, let's say like game 4 and 5.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of a weird final overall because like I feel like it was pretty draft heavy. Like the first game we got kind of outdrafted pretty hard and we lost, and then the second game it was complete stomp, and then game three was the same thing, you know, like we did not expect them to just first pick SD and then we kind of counterpicked ourselves.
Yeah.
And then game four, I think like was pretty big outdraft. I think the change for us to put like we picked the gyro on 16-17 with Tusk instead of picking it last pick was pretty important. And it opened up like our last pick. And I think
This
like
guy.
I mean yeah, I mean and then that thing is like the Ursa pick is like doesn't matter too much. Like it could have honestly been a lot of different. It didn't really matter. Like for us, like if we have Sanking Hoodwink, we were pretty much just gonna win. I think like no matter what.
Okay.
But like we have a solid 16-17 safe lane that's not gonna lose to anything. So like to me, like Ammar's here in this situation just has to not lose his lane and like be useless. And what he did is just he just picked a hero where he's like, okay, no matter what happens, like if it goes late, we're gonna win, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all his hero
That
did.
worked.
And like yeah, but like at the end of the day, if you look at the game, he didn't really do anything. You know?
Yeah,
So
that's true. He didn't.
yeah, so like it's more like the mindset of us like being able to just pick Ursa there and be like, yeah, fuck it, like
Yeah,
because
true.
like I remember just like what I remember from the draft is like I told him to pick Ursa because like there's no way he would have like I don't remember I don't remember the other hero we were thinking about right now, but there's some other hero that's like some shitty like
Aoi was saying you guys were considering Doom. Was it banned? Because you guys like
I
Doom
feel
versus
like
Sven. This is what Aoi
I
said. I
feel
don't know if
like
there
it
was
was
another
some
one.
random. I feel like it was some random like Tide Hunter, some not Ammar hero.
I
I feel like
see.
it was something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But then I was like, just pick it because like if we lose and you didn't pick Ursa, you're gonna be so upset with yourself. But if
Yeah.
you pick Ursa and lose, like at least you did it, you know.
And if you
Like
pick
you'll have
Ursa and win, like
yeah.
bonus.
So
Yeah.
so for me like yeah. I mean also like in this final like it was kind of weird because game three like we just picked Pango instead of Sanking. Like we didn't even realize Sanking was in the pool. We just kind of picked Pango.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh yeah, we kind of messed up, you know. And then the next game we got lucky because they just gave us the same thing.
Yeah.
But they could have just banned Hoodwink, and then maybe we would have just lost game four, you know. And it's like, yeah. So I think like that game four was like a pretty big outdraft just because of the first four heroes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the game five, Game 5, I think our response to the ST was just much better. Like game 3, our ST response was terrible. Game 4, we had like the right idea, like Tusk Jaro against him on lane, and
Yep.
then game 5, like I think we have just good heroes against ST. Like we have 2 heroes that can like get on their ST and Pugna in Pango and Magnus, and then we have Disruptor Naga. You know, it's like solid team fight, and then yeah. I mean, I think Skiter also just played this game like very well. Like there was no stress at any point because he was just kind of like, yeah, he was just playing the hard carry life, you know, and like there's like no stress for us in this game. I think it was very easy. Like I think we fucked up a lot for this game to be slightly competitive. But when I look at it from draft, like if you played this again, I don't think it would be very close at all.
Okay.
I think it's very hard for them.
Yeah. Okay. So then you would say you share more the sentiment that it's easier for you guys to play this game.
Yeah, I think it's way easier. They have like one hero with stun, you know, like it's all on the shaker.
Yeah.
I think it's just, yeah.
And then, so how do you kind of go about because so you guys win TI, you know, you're on the stage. It's like something you've worked for, I mean, your entire career, you know, you've tried like 8 or 9 times and now you finally make it. And I know you've talked about the like kind of suppressing like your feelings on the stage. But what was like your overall emotion, like the moment you won and then like after? And was there like a moment where you did actually, you just bursted, you know, like your emotions just went, whoo, it's time to let go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a weird feeling. Like obviously, right when we won, there's like a explosion of feelings, you know, because you're
Yeah.
kind of just like, and for me, it always works like that. Like it's very like explosive. Like every time I've won a tournament that like was important to me, it's just like in that moment, you know, like right when we win, and then like after that, it's like kind of just stabilizing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could just feel like I was being very emotional. And there's also like I have like family in the crowd and stuff like, and then like Tsunami came up to me. He's like he's gonna ask me some question. I'm like, okay, I have to like talk. And like when I cry, I cannot talk. Like
Yeah.
it's like it would have been such a mess, and I did not want to go through that on stage. Like I would hate myself for the rest of my life, you know. So I was just like, okay, I just gotta hold it in, and then yeah, and then I went. Yeah, so I kind of survived it, I guess. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
nothing really happened on stage, but it was like a constant battle of just like holding it in.
Yeah.
And then I went backstage and I saw my girlfriend and I was like, okay. And then she was crying and then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. So then I like kind of broke down a bit, but like I
Yeah.
kind of held it back until I got back to the hotel. I was like showering before the after party and I just like crying in the shower. That was good shit.
So in the shower is where it actually happened.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, it was so
Okay.
good. Like I was just in the shower, just having my own time, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah. And the quality is kind of ass, but remembered I had it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true because you can tell that you did a good job. I think, you know, holding it
Yeah.
together here. Like it's like good memes. This was obviously, yeah. I mean, so this was. Would you say that this is this like the most memorable moment of your entire career? Like the winning moment into like this moment on the stage.
I don't even know. Like it's obviously the biggest moment like that I can when I watched it now.
Yeah,
Like it's crazy, and also just like when the whole crowd was just like chanting my name and stuff. Like I'll never forget that. You know,
yeah.
like that was like very surreal moment. But I don't know. Like it's it's weird. I don't know. Like I work.
So
Yeah,
actually,
like
it's amazing.
yeah, so I work in like for me it's weird. Like it's not like something where I was like afterwards, and it was really weird for me when I was at the after party because everyone's like, "Oh, congrats, man!"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
everyone's so happy for you, right? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, and I'm like not as happy as them, and I feel bad because like I feel like okay, these guys are all so happy for me, like, and now I
what am
feel
I
like
doing? Yeah,
like I'm being like an asshole for not being more happy, and like it's just weird. Like it's more like a relief, I guess. Like I'm happy that I got to do that in my career, you know. Like I'm
yeah,
happy that it ended up happening before I stopped, and like yeah, it was more like oh that's really nice, you know. More than like oh like a euphoric happiness, like where I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
oh that's amazing, you know. It's not like my life doesn't change because I won TI. Like it's not like it doesn't matter in that way, you know. Like it's not like I won $20 million like it was a few years ago,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not a life-changing thing for me. Like the next year, like I'm still gonna be playing the same tournaments. I'm gonna have the same schedule. My life is like, you know, nothing changes about
Yeah.
the rest of my life. So like in that way, it was not like a crazy thing that happened, you know, more like compared to other people. And I
Mhm.
think like, um, yeah, I don't know. It was weird in that way where it's like I feel like I should be more happy about it, but at the same time, like I'm also like it's my win, you know, like I'm allowed to be like, you know, like content and not like overly happy about it. So yeah, it was definitely yeah a weird feeling. I was just happy to see the people like around. Like there was a lot of nice messages as well, like people that
Yeah.
like have been supporting me for a long time. Like obviously my family and my friends and stuff. Like just seeing how happy they were for me, that meant more to me than like my own. You know,
Mm.
like they were really happy like that they saw me win and like that it was important to me and they were just so happy on my behalf. That meant a lot to me. I think that was like the bigger thing, to be honest. Like in terms of like how much happiness I got or like whatever you want to call it, you know.
Yeah.
This the satisfaction from it was just like seeing your close ones and like even like just random fans like sending me messages like throughout the years like supporting. Just it's just nice, you know. It was just a nice wholesome feeling. Even like the not just in the moment, like of course it's nice to win, but like the week after and just having like a state of being like content and like, oh yeah, we did it, and then like people being happy on my behalf, like that was really nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's also, I think it has a lot to do with that you were in like good teams for a long time, and I think people saw that you went through like some ups, a bit of downs, and you joined this team, and at least it felt like you got a bit of I don't know if motivation is the right word, but it felt like it like kind of gave you a new spark, like when you joined Falcons to begin with. Like you got your rise up, and you win TI, and obviously, I mean, at the end of the day, you decide how you feel. If you're not as happy as other people, whatever. Like you know,
Yeah,
winning TI is obviously
yeah.
still like it's a crazy feature.
It's just something you can't like. Yeah, like it's it's impossible to know how you're gonna react. You can't really plan for it, you know. So it's like
Yeah,
it's just a it's a weird circumstance. But yeah,
yeah.
no, it was obviously obviously amazing.
Yeah. So then, moving on, because there's not actually that much left. There's a few things I want to talk about when it comes to Blast. So the tournament you guys just played.
Mhm.
So you went to the finals. You lost. You barely lost to Tundra. I mean, first of all, you guys replayed game 4 and 5 draft. Any hot takes on this one? Is just both teams won. I think it came down to gameplay. So you both just re-roll it full same, or is there more to
Mm,
it?
I mean, it's pretty fresh though. I mean, I can say from my point of view,
G.
um, I think we were honestly a decent amount better than them. I think we lost the outside of game 4 and 5, which I think both games were pretty free for us. I think the game we lost was like somewhat of a big outdraft, but like
Mm-hmm.
we kind of I think we steamrolled them game 1 and 3, and then
Yeah.
game 4 and 5 we should have done the same. I think I mean obviously right after you lose, like it feels like shit, you know, because
Yeah.
you threw 2 games, but in hindsight, like there's not much to be too upset about, to be honest, because I think we did what it takes for us to win this tournament, and then
Mm-hmm.
about like playing the same draft, like to me, I think like I don't have like in theory it makes sense for us because like game 4 was pretty free, and then if you look at game 5, it was also kind of free, you know.
Yeah.
From my point of view, I was a little bit unsure just because game 4, like I had literally like the perfect game. Like I was like, okay, the lane went perfect, and then everything like my initiations went perfect. Everything was like from my point of view like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good, and I don't really like Bat is not like a hero that I think is like amazing right now. It's just like in this circumstance, so it's like there's a Timbersaw and they like Bat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I have a game like that and I feel like everything went right for me and we still lose, then going into the next game, like I know the same thing's not gonna happen. Like I'm not gonna have as good of a game. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the chances are just not. So then like I'm less certain, you know. So
Mhm.
then the only series we've lost recently, like we lost to Mouse in when we played Fisher. We
Mhm.
lost that series and we lost to their DK twice, and I feel like my problem was kind of like we only lost to this team. Like they didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to do too much to beat us. You know, they did the same thing twice,
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
and then I felt like we did kind of the same thing with Tundra, where like they did the same thing twice to beat us. You know, but the difference is like we kind of should have won. So it's like not really like yeah, it's not that one-sided. Like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of like what I'm feeling about it, but like that's just like my 2 cents on it. Like I
I
think
see
it's
what you mean.
like you kind of want it to be hard for teams to beat you, and I think like losing to the same thing multiple times, like when at least when we feel like we're a better team and we have multiple things we can do, like we have other options, like we don't need to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's unnecessary, you know. So to me, like that's like I would probably change it, but then like, it's also like I don't really think there's anything to regret in terms of like how it went because we should have still won, you know. So
Yeah.
it's just like you can change it, but like it's just a preference thing, and it's like it's not like it would have been better or worse. It's just like you know that's if I was drafting, you know,
Yeah.
like if it was
I
up to me.
mean, both the thing. I mean, in my opinion, what you say, like it both makes sense. You play game 4, you're ahead, you feel like you should win, so you want to play it again in game 5. But at
Yeah,
the same time, you also have it in like the back of your mind. This game just now was so perfect, at least for me. I don't know, like if minute 40 in the next game, when it's the same game, will be, if the lead up is gonna be the same. That's kind of like
yeah,
what
yeah.
you're saying, right?
No, but it's like at the same time, it's like I am very like I felt like most of these things are gonna be the same. Like I
Yeah.
knew Jara is gonna have a free game. I just don't know if I'm gonna have like 2 kills on lane and have like actually like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
13-minute blink, you know, which is like not what ended up happening in game 5 because like it was a bit of a rougher game.
Because I mean, both the last games. I mean, you guys are up a lot in like both the games, and there's like some, you end up at your tier 4, you die in game 4, and then something, and it's like
Yeah,
something similar here. I mean, you can talk about only as much as you would like you don't have to give away some strats or whatever. But let's
yeah. I
say
mean,
you,
I haven't looked at it in detail either. So like a
yeah,
lot of it is just like what from memory, you know.
yeah.
So
Like if you could say like what you feel like if you, let's say you guys replayed this game a third time, how do you feel like you should approach this fight and execute it to actually win? You can just let it run in the background.
well, yeah, let it run because let me see. And I think what from my point of view, like one thing I like as bad writer, you need to kind of stress is like once you use lasso, like your hero is fucking useless, you know. Like
Yeah.
you've done everything your hero does in a team fight, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like here, like everything is fine. Like I go on this quap and he uses the disc, and then Ammar gets a good jump. But like
Yeah.
the problem is like here, we kind of need to understand like after my lasso that if they have buybacks, we don't really have anything, you know. Like we have arena and lasso, and that's it, you know. And once we've used it, like we don't have really anything to help Jaro fight. And then if they just slam buybacks, like we're gonna lose the fight. So for me here, like we need to realize that before this happens, right? Like kill one guy with lasso. If you get a free kill, it's fine. They have to buyback, or we just get a Rax. Everything is fine. We don't really want to force a fight because there's no lasso. So then in hindsight, like if Ammar sees like he has like a dream arena, right? It's like everything's fine. He has 2 of them anyway. But I think like we need to be a bit more aware of buybacks here. Because like I think we get 2 supports for free. Skiter still has BKB, everything good. We still have arena, I think. Ammar still has arena, right? I think. Or did he used to?
You
He
doubled
used
now.
to. Yeah. So like here, I think like we need to understand. Like there's also no grip. They use grip already.
Yeah.
Like Skiter should just realize, okay, it's time to dip. Like he just BKB and TP's out.
BKB,
And
TP.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah. And they use 3 buybacks and everything's fine, you know. But like
And you're saying also like it just matters a lot that maybe even pre-fight that you talk about, okay, what's like the one thing they can do, which is
yeah,
prolonged fight with mass buybacks.
yeah. Like what's their condition, you know? Like.
Yeah.
Because they don't actually have heroes to fight us at all. They have no stuns. Like they kind of
Yeah.
have shit heroes, in my opinion. Like there's just the only way is if like they have like 8 heroes and we have 5.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Which
So,
is I guess
think-
kind of what happens, and then I think the game.
Yeah. So I think if we had planned it a bit better, like everything would have been fine there. You know,
Yeah.
like it would have been 3 buybacks and we would have. I would have died. Ammar maybe would have. Actually, Ammar probably would have been fine. So
Yeah.
we would have lost me and maybe Sneh, you know, and that's it for 3 buybacks. So
Which
yeah.
obviously means that, I mean, you guys got second. You probably feel like you could have won in both game 4 and game 5. So obviously you're pretty happy with the tournament. You just have a few things to take away, and like that's it. It's like kind of like correct assessment.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think, you know, like we understand we can't win every tournament. It's
Yeah.
like the best thing you can do is put yourself in the grand final as often as possible, and then try your best to perform. And we just won the tournament against Bad Boom in the final, you know, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, sometimes you just like there's a lot of stuff going into it. It's not just like draft or like small like our mistakes in game 4 and 5. Like it's also just
Mhm.
like uh like a bit of like I think as a team we had a bit of like I wouldn't say burnout, but like we're getting like we have to manage ourselves a bit, like
I
making
mean, you
sure
are
that
perma
everyone's
playing,
like
yeah. Like,
yeah, so like it's just we have to like manage ourselves and like we had some talks after this and like
Mhm.
we planned like for our schedule for the next uh like the next couple of tournaments and like what we're doing with that and like I think it's just important to take care of like yourselves. Like every team has to manage like what tournaments are you playing because there's too many tournaments right now.
yeah.
So like just making sure that you're in the best state possible so like so you can perform because at the end of the day like these finals maybe if we're like a little bit sharper and then we would have just won, you know. It's like
Yeah.
small differences.
Okay. That basically, I mean, that ramps up your career to like the present day, which means you're gonna get to like the casual questions. And
Okay,
then you're free from the shackles.
sounds good.
So one question. This is a segment other people have to had endure this one too. Is questions that actually my mom asked,
Mhm.
and I will quote her. Let me quickly find the quote. Yeah, here. In her opinion, you should have left EG earlier. She was like, "What the fuck? Why isn't he leaving? Because of farming Terrorblade shit ass Arteezy and storm loving shit ass Bulba." And she thinks it was because of your bromance with Artur. What is the take on
Mhm.
this one?
I mean, one thing I will say is that your mom for sure is on Reddit. Like that's 100%.
She's
Is that
based. She's not actually on Reddit, but she types like one. Yeah.
okay? That's crazy. I mean, uh, I guess we kind of touched on it already, but for me,
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, um, yeah, like I never really felt like played on a team where we were not able to win. You know, like I always felt like we were capable of winning, and then obviously, like Aitor is one of my best friends. Like, yeah, I do want to play with him. Like, that's not like a bad thing. I feel like
Yeah.
I always like enjoy playing with Aitor. Like, it's not a secret that I stayed on the team to play with him. Like, it was just, it's not like I wouldn't have stayed if I thought he was shit and we just never gonna win. Like, I'm just staying it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like that. You know, it's like
For
it's
sure.
just I believe in him as a player, and he's a good friend of mine. So, like, of course, I will want to play with him.
Okay. Then you survived this one. Would you say so? If you look back at your career, I mean, obviously this doesn't have to be about EG, but is there anything that you feel like you wish you did different? Whether it's how you acted in a moment or a team choice or something like that.
Mhm. I mean, there definitely is. I'm trying to think back on like what is that moment though.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I just it's hard for me to remember now. Like, cause also like those type of moments, like you kind of like it's like the lowest of your career, you know. So you kind
Yeah.
of push them away in your head, like you don't want to think about it. But obviously, like there's some TIs I played where I felt like I did not like not that I didn't put in like all my effort, but like there's some things that I could have done better that would have helped us win, type of thing.
Hmm.
Um, but I just can't like put specifics on it without like like looking investigating into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of like teams I was on and stuff like that, I don't think I would have changed anything really. Like it was, I'm very happy with. I've always been happy during like throughout my career. I've never like felt like I was miserable, you know, like or I didn't have fun or like I didn't want to play the game anymore. Um, I was always on like functional teams that always like tried to win.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't really have. I wouldn't say I have any big regrets in my career, to be honest. Um, yeah, no, not really. I'm like if I did it again, like I would have probably done all of it the same way, to be honest. Like not much would have changed.
Yeah.
Because it also like you don't really know if you're gonna be the same person if you did something different, you know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm like proud to be who I am today, but like I'm happy where I'm at in my life. You know, I'm in a good place mentally, and like I have a good life. You know, so I'm happy with the choices I've made.
No, that's good. Well, or if there are any, then you suppress them pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're just
Yeah.
gone. Like it's not even didn't even
Yeah.
happen.
Oh, I mean, it's a good mechanic. Okay, then let's see. Is there anything you wish that Valve did or implemented in the game? Change matchmaking, heroes, map, meta. Like, let's say you have like free choice.
I think I would like them to make like either jungling or like roaming a bit better. Like some aspect of like having like an off lane role. You know what I mean? Like a hero
Yeah.
that's not like you used to be like the Iron Talent jungling, and I'm not saying that they should bring
Yeah.
that back, but like rewarding roaming or like having some sort of like the type of things that I don't understand from the way they change. Like for example, like Clinks, right? Clinks
Hmm.
used to have like this death pack where he got +5 damage per every time he got like a hit on a kill, right? You got
Yeah.
+5 damage like permanently, and I'm like, that's such a good concept. Like it's just fun. Like it just rewards like being active,
Yeah.
and then you just took it away. I'm like, well, why would you take
Yeah.
that away? Like what about it was like? And I understand like a lot of the stuff they do is because they want to like make the game. They balance the game for like the casual player, which I understand. Maybe there's some Clinkses in like Ancient that are just going into Sano mode, have 500 plus damage every game, you know. Like,
Yeah.
but to me, I feel like that was such like a unique mechanic that was just like it just made me sad that they took it away. I was like, why would you do that? Like, it was not broken or anything in
Hmm.
competitive. Like nobody was, but like that type of that type of role, you know, that would be what I would want to do. Like have some more rewards for early kills. Like it just doesn't give you anything if you TP mid and kill the guy mid, like it doesn't even feel good right now. You know, it used to be
Yeah.
like when we were playing in Singapore against IG. I remember like you had 3 TPs, you just TP around like a psychopath. You get it, you just that
Yeah.
was
I
like
remember. Yeah.
that was I will never forget. Like it was so fun. Like playing Earthspirit with 3 TPs. Like then they need to bring it back. You had like Orb of Venom. You can't even buy Orb of Venom anymore.
Yeah.
So like yeah,
I mean, that was
no,
like your
that's probably it.
patented move or whatever, the Earth
Yeah,
Spirit
just
TP
TP
in
mid and
between
kill.
line. Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just always works. So
Yeah.
like yeah, I miss it.
So do you just want him to like make kills a bit better, or have like literally like a hybrid jungle, like some League of Legends?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do it, to be honest. And
Mhm.
like I don't really blame them for not having it because like I don't want it to be like League where you just have a hero that's jungling, you know. But
Yeah.
like having some options like that, like if there's a way to make it so that there's more options, that's just like what's like the patented Dota thing, you know. Like you can do anything in Dota, like there's no limits. But like
Yeah.
when there's when there are limits, like that's like what I think we should try to not have. Like they should try to make it so that you can do anything. Like you can go jungle low one on some Enigma or like something very specific, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it might just be, you know, like there was Savannah jungle, you know, like this type of things, like they just removed it. They're just like, nope,
Yeah.
not
They're just
anymore.
dead.
Yeah. Like I think just something like that. I don't
Hmm.
know. Like making early kills more rewarded. Yeah, so stuff like that would be good.
No, I'm fully with you. I think there's too much gold and XP that you can obtain in like passive ways. It's like
Yeah.
not the greatest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for sure, they should take away some neutral camps as well, but I think that's
Yes.
pretty
Please.
generally agreed upon.
Yeah. Okay. You've got two more post 4 questions. So the first one is, which version of Earth Spirit did you actually enjoy the most throughout like Dota history? Like so
I mean, I
stun on
like
kick, the current
no,
one.
I think the current one is pretty good. Like
Okay.
the current iteration is fine. Like it's good.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, like I said, like the one where you had 3 TPs, that was really good.
Okay.
I liked when you could buy Orb of Venom on this hero a bit more than now, because now you just have to buy Urn or something.
We
Like you
need Blood
can't really.
Grenade. That's your
Yeah,
overvenom.
Blood Grenade is that's it. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I think Orb of Venom and current skill set is fine. Yeah.
Hmm. So for I would like post 4 is a bit of a weird role, in my mind. At least if you're really good, I think it's like it's all about very small things. Like it's a very open role. At least that's how I would see it. What advice would you give aspiring like post 4 players, no matter like the MMR? Like, what should they kind of focus on to improve?
Mm. It's kind of a good question just because I think there's different ways to kind of interpret the role right now. Like there's obviously like some players, like most of the pro plus 4 players are like very specific in the way they play. Like you can look at all the top, like I'd say most of them, and be like, oh, this guy is a melee plus 4 player
Yeah,
and this guy's a range plus 4 player. And I think that's kind of become a norm now, like where that's just the case. But I think like yeah, if you're new and coming in, I think you kind of should try to focus on one style and just like be really good at that.
hmm
I think like the age of like I think like me and like Boxy and I'd say Tofu when he was like these like we're more like a mix of it. Like we could do both.
yeah,
And all the new kids like the like even like Save like is very like he's been around for a while, but he's like a almost exclusive range player, and then nine
yeah,
class is like can literally only play melee heroes.
yeah. That's true.
So like it's just and Schofield the same thing, right? Schofield just melee heroes. So and I know like people will say, oh, these guys can play it, they play these heroes, but like at the end of the day, like when they play TI, like they're gonna play these heroes, and that's
hmm
just how it is. So like I think just if I was new, like I would probably just focus on doing one thing, um, and not try to like play everything. And then I
Yeah,
mean I think honestly the biggest thing is like if you're trying to become better, like you kind of have to play with this. Like you should try to find some offlaner that plays like you play with the same person, just because like if you go through matchmaking and like you're gonna have situations where your offlaner is gonna be opposite of what you're doing,
yeah,
and it's just a 50-50 if like your offlaner wants to have a melee hero or a range hero.
hmm
So if you play with the same guy all the time that knows you're gonna be like playing fucking Nyx and Slark, like he'll be fine. Like he
yeah,
understands. He wants to practice that style as well.
yeah.
Then it's way easier for you to improve than if you're just like sending it every game.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think that's good advice. Because post 4 to me, it's a bit I don't know. It doesn't have like some playbook. I feel like other roles, it's maybe a bit more linear what you can do or what you should do. I think post 4 is just like I feel like a lot of the post 4s that are good, like yourself, you've just played it for so long. Like you've played like a billion different like variations of the same Dota simulation.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it's a bit different for me and the other like 4 players right now, because
Mm,
like they're all very. I think yeah. I mean, I don't even know. Like, Save is probably the closest. I mean, Boxy of course, but like Save is like in terms of experience, like the only one that's really like same style as me. Everyone else
yeah,
is like kind of like fresh or like have their own like a new way of thinking about. They don't have like the days of playing like Venge at TI8 or like these type of things. Like it's very different.
yeah,
Like you don't have those things like in your. It's not like I'm gonna just play Venge tomorrow, but like if it's like the perfect game and like I've done it. Like I know
yeah.
how it works. Like I
You will
understand
bust
these
it out.
heroes. Yeah. So like that's like a very different. Like obviously I'm not as mechanically good as like these guys anymore. Like it's just the reality of it. Like I really have to practice a lot to get
hmm
to that. Like if it's just if I'm going 1v1 against these players, like they're just a lot of the time they're gonna beat me. But
Getting
like
cooked.
I'd like to, yeah, I'd like to think like I'm pretty close, and I know I can be up there, and then I just have a little bit of experience advantage
Yeah. All right. Then you've got the final question. Who would you say is the most underrated player in your team? You
in
can,
my team.
yeah, you can say underrated or undervalued. And I think choose.
I think it depends a lot, like on it's a form thing. I don't think it's really like overall
hmm
like uh I mean I think probably Skiter. Just because, like, I don't know why Reddit has like, or like the public opinion has like this hate bonus for carry players that don't play hard carries.
Yeah, the non
So it's
miracles. Yeah.
just, yeah. So like the understanding is not there. So like that's probably the easy one.
hmm
Um, but I think, yeah, like most players that understand Dota, like understand his value. So then it's just like
It balances itself out. you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's probably the easy choice. Other than that, I don't know. I think everyone's pretty accurately valued right now.
Okay. I think that's fair. Yeah, I would agree with the Skiter thing. I think
Yeah.
the space makers. They just no one cares about them. You just see top
No.
net worth. Holy base, he's the
I
one.
mean, it is just what it is. Like the average
Yeah,
Dota player is just a hard carry player, and like
true.
that's just like the biggest viewer. Like most of the viewers are just like that's just what they are. You know, they want to. That's why everyone loves Yatoro, and like that's why everyone watches Gorgc, and like that's just how it goes. Like the
Yeah,
carry players are just like I don't personally get it. Like watching carry player streams is like the most boring thing I can imagine. I just can't watch it. Like even
yeah,
Arturo, like I love Arturo, but like I can't watch his stream because he's just playing carry, and like I would rather like go do something else, you know.
yeah. But
But
that's
if
why they
it's
need
just
to complain. You know, it's the killing
yeah,
creeps plus being mad.
yeah, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, so I think that's just how it is. Like, and you just kind of resign to be at a role of scrutiny if you play carry in
Yeah.
general.
I mean, if you win a lot, I'm sure Skeeter he can handle it.
Oh, I think he's fine. Yeah, he's gone through it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But with that, yeah, we've gone through everything that I wanted. So first of all, thank you very much for taking the time. Talking about like your career and TI, giving insights. Helping the people out. Do you have anything you would like to get off your chest? Any shout outs, any words, or just peace out?
no, just thanks for having me. Um, hopefully people are interested in hearing about it. I know it's like a lot of it is like it's not the best recollection. Like I don't have all the hidden gems from like 2017. You know, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
hard to remember. But yeah, hopefully people enjoy a little bit of insight. And then yeah, just thanks for the support. Like I said, like all the messages we receive, especially when we won TI and stuff, it matters a lot. So I just want to say thanks to all the people that have supported for all the time that I've been playing. It's been like 10 years now, so it's a lot of time and a lot of support. I appreciate that.
Well, that sounds about right. And always, I mean, my pleasure. Thanks for taking the time. And hopefully, all of you watching also enjoyed this episode. And with that said, we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
Peace.
Peace.